can't even sugarcoat it. I have never felt something this nice. And Victrix is aiming to make a new premium for sticks, but how does this Leverless stand out in the sea of Leverlesses that we already know about? Let's talk about it. And upon picking up the box, it feels pretty heavy compared to some of the other sticks that we've reviewed before on the channel. Honestly, it's kind of weird because I thought as a Leverless it would be really light, like most of them are. Let me get the stick ears off and stuff like that so we can get it in here. And yeah, upon opening, it feels very premium, just the box itself. And then you take the stick out and it actually feels pretty weighty as well, honestly. It feels, despite it being feeling like it made out of the same materials as some of these other sticks, it actually feels quite a bit heavier than most of the Leverlesses I've reviewed in the channel thus far. The buttons feel really nice. The back has a very nice grip to it. It has this nice little hex pattern, very cool. Inside the box, you actually have two different other compartments. And in this first compartment, you have a very nice looking bag. It looks like a Victrix bag. Let me see what it looks like. All right, yeah, so it's a Victrix bag. It looks really premium. It looks like it holds the stick. I think it's about the same size. Yeah, the stick looks like it fits very comfortable in there. I might use it just to carry it in, but I might put this inside of another bag because there's no straps on it for you to carry it properly. That's just my thoughts on it. And inside the other compartment, you actually have a Victrix braided purple cable. And it looks like on both ends it has a USB-A and a USB-C, and also looks like it has quite a bit of length to it, honestly. So let me unravel this really quick so you can take a look at it with me. So yeah, so it looks like it has quite a bit of length to it, honestly. And with that being said, the way that it is actually presented, it looks like you're supposed to actually plug it into the top right here. And there's actually a very secure little latch right here that you would hit right here like so, and it undoes itself like that. Then what you'll do is you'll put the USB-C end inside of the Leverless, and let me get this in here. All right, there we go. And then you'll lock that like so. It looks like it's very firm, and yeah, it doesn't come out at all. And that's very cool. I like how they have a locking mechanism. Something of the other sticks that I've reviewed, they don't actually have a locking mechanism, so some of the cables actually get a little bit looser than normal and it becomes easier to pull them out with time. And yeah, like overall this stick just looks so premium, especially when you cut the lights on. The lights look immaculate. This is part of like the big experience I feel like with this stick, is it feels very premium overall, just visually and feel wise. The push buttons feel like something that I've used before. It feels like actually the stick that I reviewed before that I said I loved how the buttons felt. I'll actually link that up above if you want to check that stick out as well. That stick's pretty cool. And yeah, this looks like it has some really cool light configurations, and we'll probably play some of these as the video goes along. So without further ado, let's actually check out some gaming real quick. So this stick is actually designed to work with PS4, PS5, and PC. And it looks like it works very well. It has a good little bit of range on it. As you can see, I'm able to play it from the couch. I'm not at the desk right now, and I'm able to play some Bleach on it, like, which is something that a lot of arcade sticks cannot do because they are not specifically made to be a PS5 controller. So we'll give it a quick little test around and see what it feels like here. I also tested this stick with Under Night, as we usually do, just because Under Night I feel like has some of the more complex combos that have specific timings to them. So I'm gonna break out the boy Akatsuki, of course, and we're gonna try a few different routes and see how these routes work out for me. And it seems to be working really well. I mean, there's not much else I can say beyond it looks like it's working really well. And it has a very firm press, like I was saying, so it takes like a moment to get used to, and I feel like that's just the norm with sticks with different actuation points. Like, I know a lot of different sticks have specific levels where they activate, and since these are higher profile buttons than some of the stuff I've used before, you actually have to kind of press it a little bit more to actually get that input to come out. But I like that because it makes me feel like I'm purposely pressing buttons instead of something accidentally coming out. So now that we've tested out the combos in Under Night, how about the movement? I have the perfect game to show off how the movement looks with this stick, and I'm just going to be doing post commentary for it. So we are actually playing Rivals 2. Rivals 2 is a platform fighter, and with platform fighters, I feel like it's all about the movement. Now, I know a large part of platform fighters is your controller that you're using. I know not as many people use Leverless, but if you want to give it a try, the fact that this controller works really well with Rivals is enough to give my vouch. It looks really nice. It runs really nice. As you can see, my movement is really crispy. And even in the online matches that I'm going to show on the screen right now, the movement felt really good. I felt like I had full control of my character. I felt like I was able to punish when I needed to punish. And in fact, we ended up winning the set, which is kind of crazy because this guy started off whomping me because I didn't know how to use this controller on this game in particular at first, especially in a battle because of how clicky it is. But as I adjusted to it, it felt very natural and it felt very responsive, which is something I think is of course very important, especially in platform fighters. But there's one more game I really want to test things out with. And first we have to do something. So let's do that. All right, so we have our stick right here. And something that is very special about this stick is that you are able to take out buttons and replace buttons in different ways. So the way you'll do it is first you have to, of course, probably unlock the cable. That's at least what I'm going to do to make it easier on myself. And then from there you flip it over and you see on the back there are these latches right here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And as you undo these latches, you hear a little click, and the click is actually, I believe, the side paneling going unlocked. It's kind of interesting to kind of get this thing up. I'm trying to see how I get it up. So yeah, like as you see, the paneling is there. Pulling from the top doesn't seem to be working too well, I don't think. Actually, I noticed at the bottom there is a groove right here, so I'll probably actually use that. Oh yep, there it goes. Yep, that's the best way to probably take it off right there, is to use that groove right there. And as you see on the back, there's magnets. So this thing is very secure to the device unless you really want to take it off. It doesn't just come off. And inside here, as you see, there's a lot of different buttons, and there's also a few different parts that are actually blank. So the blanks are right there. You have 4 of those. You have 4 buttons, and then you also have 4 of the actual push points. And these are Cherry MX Silvers, if I'm not mistaken, so they should be really cool. I want to take the big button out. Let me see. Let me take the big button out. I don't know if I can replace it or not. We'll see in a moment. So actually, there is no real point in replacing the big button. I actually took it out, and it doesn't seem like there's really a point to it. So what we'll do is we'll put in these next few anyway, and then I'll see if I like it this way. Because with the big button, there's no other place it can go. I wish they kind of had a cap for the big button if you didn't want it there. I know that's a very odd ask, and I'm probably a very French case of wanting it this way, but there's a game I'm about to try that I won't need that button, and if anything, it'll probably be in the way. So I put in the other buttons, and we're gonna put it back on, and yeah, it looks really nice. That is the setup for right now. I need those 2 buttons, and I have to set them, which reminds me of another thing that we also have to talk about. To talk about the Victrix control hub. I completely forgot to talk about this. Essentially, if you have buttons that you added in, you'll want to map them. So as you can see, they're currently already mapped. So if I wanted to switch this button, this is the P2 button specifically. So what I'll probably do is I'll go to P2, and then I would change it to whatever function I wanted it to have. As you see, it changes the button to whatever. I'll probably keep it on L3 and just set that the way it is on the external side of things. So L3, as you'd expect in PC, would translate to left stick and right stick. So I'll probably be using left stick and right stick in this game that we're about to play. I don't have a button set up for P1 yet, but we might, you know, end up taking out P1 and trying that out depending on how this feels. But yeah, so it does different button functions. It has SOCD, so you are like tournament legal. You can check with like a testing process. So essentially, like, you know, every button you press make sure it actually equals neutral mode and things like that. So you can test those buttons. Nothing too crazy on that end besides that. You also have the ability to change your lighting, and I showed you guys different lighting profiles throughout this video. There's a few more you can probably do, like I have like solid breathing, and it shows you what it looks like on here too, which is probably the sickest thing of all. Then you have light show, which looks like this, and it literally looks like this in real time. And then this is, if you press it, it does a light up, so it shows you what my lighting is. So since I play a lot of anime games, I usually use this one because it matches what those colors are in that game, and everything else is white. You also can change your volume. So this stick does have a port for your headphones, so you can put it in there and use it that way. It also has a thing that can help you use your microphone with it, and it works that way. So if you want to set that up, you can. If you're having issues with your sticks, they have a diagnostic thing, and if you're having issues beyond that, they actually have a support line, so you can get your quick start guide, you can check your legal information. They have a direct line to customer service, which takes you to the website, or you can email them or call them at these numbers. Huge support is a big important thing, especially when you're buying like a new peripheral. If you buy the peripheral and you don't know how to use it, or if you figure there's an issue or something like that, having a direct line to the company is so much easier with Victrix. I've had a couple of other companies where I had to reach out to them about an issue I was having, and it took them a couple weeks to get back to me. And it wasn't because because of Q, but I think it was because they had to narrow down the issue. Whereas on here, you can kind of just put the diagnostic up and set it out that way. You can also update your firmware. It allows you to update your stick firmware. They're doing different updates, I'm sure, not only from a visual standpoint, but from a performance standpoint as well. But yeah, let's get on to that game that I was talking about. So as you can see, it is working amazingly. It feels really, really nice. Like every click has purpose. But then there's also these specific buttons on the actual notes that are called sidetrack notes, and they're specific to certain songs, but you can't hit them with a regular stick because my hands feel too cramped in there. I think with this layout, the way that it's spread out, I feel like it's a lot easier and I can press those buttons, which is really, really nice. So now I can finally do that full chain the way that it's properly meant to be done. Really, really nice. I love this, especially if you're a rhythm game player. There's a lot of different custom configurations you can come up with, and they all look and work beautifully. So my rhythm gamers, you guys are covered with the Victrix as well, and that is a great thing. So yeah, the Victrix Pro KO is an amazing leverless controller, and it feels really, really good. This will probably be my go-to from now onward. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I don't think I can go back to anything else. I love having those sticks in the back, but I don't think I can go back to any of those, just based off of how this feels by itself and how supportive it feels on my wrists and things like that. So many different things to consider, and then the range that it reaches all the way back here is kind of insane. Like it literally reaches all the way back here. The cord is still plugged all the way in up there. I'm in the furthest corner of the office, and I'm still able to play things. That is amazing. There's just something about that features by itself that sold me, because you can never have enough cord, honestly, and it feels very, very weighty, so it doesn't get tangly and messy with everything else. I love that. Honestly, I just want to thank Victrix and Turtle Beach for reaching out to me. I appreciate you guys for allowing me to do a video for you guys. If you guys have anything else for me to review, I am very, very excited to review that. Please let me know. And also in the comments, please let me know how you feel about the stick. What do you guys think? Like, I think having a modular stick is very, very important. I even added an extra button in post processing because I'm recording this part a little bit later. Yeah, there's just no shortage of buttons that you can use, no shortage of buttons that you are able to do combination wise. And I think that's a beautiful thing, especially when it comes to this era of us going into leverless. I feel like we're always finding a new purpose, not only for leverless, but for how we want to set up things, because there's more and more buttons in fighting games and so on and so forth. But anyways, yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Please leave a like on the video. It helps me out a ton, especially getting opportunities like this. And this opportunity was amazing. I love the stick. But anyways, this has been your boy Zeta Slow. Until next time, everybody, stay healthy, stay happy, stay groovy, and get you a Victrix. Be out of here. Peace.